Guys, please check your audio and video settings, please. Guys, everyone, please check your audio and video settings, please. Guys, everyone, please check your audio and video settings, please. All is well? Super. Okay. Yesterday we have seen our first Spring REST application. First we tested with the browser, then we tested with the Postman, and we have seen advantages of testing with the Postman also. Advantages of testing with the Postman also, guys. Come on. So shall we observe the difference between controller and REST controller annotations? In MVC classes, we take controller classes. In Spring Boot REST classes, we take what? REST controller classes, right, guys? We take what classes, my dear? REST controller classes, right, boss? Come on. Yeah, here is my controller. Here is my REST controller, guys. Yeah, see, if you don't know much about REST controller, it looks like important question. Otherwise, if you know fundamentals of controller and REST controller, okay, guys. Okay, you can play with interview when this question is asked. You can happily play with interviewer when this question being asked. All right, controller, REST controller, guys. Given in Spring 2.5 version, bit old annotation, guys. Given in Spring 4.0, not Spring Boot, Spring only. Relatively new annotation. Relatively new annotation, right, guys? It's a relatively new annotation. Specialization of component, or it is built on the top of component, because controller makes Java class as Spring Bean come controller class, right? Yeah, specialization of controller, guys. And you know that REST controller is controller plus response body na, boss. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Come on. Yeah. Makes the Java class as web controller class having capability to handle HTTP requests by taking them through dispatcher servlet. Makes the Java class as REST controller or RESTful service provider or REST API class having capability to handle HTTP requests by taking them through dispatcher servlet. By simply taking them through dispatcher servlet. Are you getting my point there, guys? Are you understanding my statement, guys? Come on, I want reply, boss. Can be used in both Spring MVC and Spring REST applications. Can be used in both Spring MVC and even in Spring Boot MVC and Spring Boot REST applications. Recommended to only use in Spring REST application, also in Spring Boot REST application. So only in RESTful web service we can use, guys. Next. Every handler method does not get response body annotation automatically. So we need to add it explicitly if needed. We need to add it explicitly if needed, right, guys? Okay, we need to add it explicitly if needed, boss. We need to add it explicitly if needed. Are you getting my point, my dear? Understanding my statement? Okay. Every handler method automatically gets response body, so there is no need of adding it separately. It will come automatically, it will be added automatically in a boss. It will be added automatically in a boss. I want reply. Super guys. Next. Based on the return type of the handler method, it decides whether view component should be involved or not. If return type is other than response entity, then it involves what? View resolver and view component. View resolver and view component, guys. Makes the handler method sending its output result as a response to client directly through dispatcher servlet without involving what? View resolver and view component. Super. Instead of comparing REST controller with controller, please use it as convenient annotation given over @controller, providing easiness to develop RESTful service provider. Nothing but @controller plus response body. Nothing but @controller plus response body. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Come on. Are you getting my point there, guys? So don't compare, guys. Always look at the REST controller. Other than response entity means what? String as the return type. String as the return type. Model as the return type. Model map as the return type. That is. HTTP request methods are modes, guys. Get, post, put, delete, options, trace, patch, head, connect. Connect is reserved for features. Total 9, but 8 are in operation because connect is given for feature, boss. Connect is given for feature. Actually, earlier 7 are in operation, but patch is recently added. Patch is added recently, boss. Generally, we use following HTTP request methods are mode in RESTful application while performing code operation through service, DAO classes from REST operations. Nothing but business methods or handler methods or REST operation methods of the REST controller class. The methods that are there in REST controller class are called what? REST operation. REST methods, business methods. Come on, guys. Handler method. But REST operation is the most suitable terminology. REST operations is the most suitable terminology, guys. Okay. Get. Generally, we use get mode REST operation method for read operation, nothing but selecting the records. Post for creating options, guys, for creating data, for inserting records most. Simply for inserting records. Simply for inserting record. Delete, guys, for delete operation, deleting records. Put, guys, for update operation, for what? Update operation, modifying records. Here, full modification, guys. Patch, guys, for update operation, modifying records. Partial modification of the record is possible. What is possible, guys? Partial modification of the record is possible. Get for select, post for create, delete for delete operation, put for update operation, patch for update operation. Clear, my dear? Patch for update operation, guys. Note. Put for complete modification of record. Modify every info in Aadhaar card based on Aadhaar number. Wait, Babu, I'm telling na, Swaroop Allah, can't wait. Patch for partial modification of record. Modify only for a Aadhaar phone number in Aadhaar based. In Aadhaar card based on Aadhaar. Here what? Every information based on Aadhaar number. Only phone number in Aadhaar card based on Aadhaar number. Are you getting my point there? Are you understanding my statement, guys? Partial means modifying one or two property values based on the primary key column. Yeah. Put means put for complete update operation. Modifying all the details except primary key column. Array, we already discussed in MVC classes, Babu. Come on. So patch is for partial modification, put is for full modification. Now listen, put mapping example go for guys. Array, listen, can I use put for one or two, sir? You can use put mapping for multiple rest operation. You can use patch mapping for multiple rest operations, please. For partial modification also, you can use patch or put. But generally when put is used, the opposite person, a consumer developer expects, oh, here full object modification going to happen. When you use patch, okay, it assumes here partial object modification going to happen. Alright, can we interchange these methods, guys? You can interchange, but not recommended. You can interchange, guys. Now listen. Can boy can wear girl dress? Can girl wear boy dress? Yes, but not recommended that much. Are you getting my point there or not? I'll go to office every day by purchasing minibus. Go, but not recommended. And you can, these are the recommended operations to perform using these modes of request. Do you want to interchange? Yes, you can change, but not that much recommended. Do you want interchange? Yes, you can change, but not that much recommended, guys. Are you getting my point? Delete for read, post for create. Tell me, delete for a delete operation, put for update operation, patch for update operation. Clear, my dear? Got the point, my dear? I want reply, guys. Come on, everyone. Okay, see, guys. Public return type update employee, complete employee object is passed. Use put mode request. Check it out. Public return type update employee email, string new email into employee number. Here only email ID we are modifying. So patch request. What is that, guys? Patch request. Are you getting my point? Since head request mode generated HTTP response, head request mode generated does not contain body output results, so it cannot be used for code operation. Sir, out of 7 in use, 9 in 8 in use, but only 5 are in regular utilization. Check it out. Get to post, delete, put, patch. Only 5 are there. Three are in not utilization. Three are not there in utilization. Did you notice that? Okay, let's analyze why they are not there. Whenever you give head mode request, guys, whatever response that comes, that response does not contain body. So a head is just for testing purpose now, to check whether that component is there or not there. So in that situation, can I use head mode request for code operation? Can I use head mode request for code operations? I want reply, boss. Can I use head mode request for okay. Since trace is given to trace or debug components involved for the success or failure of request processing, it cannot be used for code operation. Trace is given for what purpose, guys? Trace is given for what purpose? To involve all the components that are there in what? Request processing and response generation. So can it be used for regular code operations? Trace is there to gather internal details. Or a police will trace your daily activity when they doubted you, right? When they doubted you. Understanding my statement, boss? Super. Since options mode request gives the possible HTTP request method modes that can be used to generate the request to web component. Its HTTP response contains purely list of modes or methods that are possible to give request to web component. It also cannot be used for code operation. It also cannot be used for code operations. Clear, boss? It also cannot be used for code operation. Head is used only to check whether certain component is available or not. It's like my hello mic test, mic setting testing 1, 2, 3 kind of thing. We send head mode request to check whether that component is available or not. Only for testing purpose, guys. Tracing is success or failure related tracing activities. Okay, what is options, guys? What is the use of options mode request? Option is also useless, guys, for code operation. Why? Whenever I give request to any handler method, any web component having options mode, you won't get any result or any response, guys. You will get result saying that you can give request to this web component using get mode, post mode, X mode, Y mode, Z mode kind of thing. Is it very interesting, Rababu? It will list out all possible request modes that can be used to generate the request while requesting web component or handler method. While requesting the web component or handler method. Is it not interesting, Rababu? Is it not interesting? Since trace is given to trace or debug components involved for success or failure of request processing, it cannot be used for code operations. Clear, boss? Do you think it can be used for code operation, guys? Do you really think it can be used for code operations, guys? Definitely not. Definitely not. Since options mode request gives the possible HTTP request modes or method that can be used to generate request to web component. Its HTTP response contains purely list of modes or methods that are possible to give request to web component. It also cannot be used for code operations. Right, boss? Okay. Nitesh. You are not listening, class. Last warning, Nitesh. After listening entire story, head is not used in RESTful service. That's what I'm saying. Out of 8, we are going to use only 5. And why remaining 3 are not used, that is what we are analyzing. While remaining 3 are not used, that is what we are analyzing. Yes or no? Na? What is their red color? Useless in RESTful web service. It cannot be used in card operations. That means useless. Again, useless in RESTful web service, right? Focus, man. I'm not teaching for outsider. I'm teaching for you only. Useless for RESTful web services. Useless in RESTful web services. Okay. Here is my what? Useless in RESTful web services. Useless in RESTful web services. Why, sir? What option says, I don't give request, I don't allow to process request, I don't allow to give the response. What I regularly do here is very simple. What I regularly do here is what options will do is very simple. Whenever you give request to any servlet component, JSP component or handler method, it as a reply it will give, you can give request to this method or this component using, these many modes of request. You can give request by using get mode, post mode, head mode, this kind of thing. So it is just determine and tell. It is just determine and tell what are the request mode that can be used to generate the request. Yeah. Now let's check, guys. At the rate web servlet test URL, it is having do get method. So if we give options mode request to this web component, we get response as allow. We get response as allow. Get the head options. We get response as what, guys? Get the head options. Okay, guys. Next one. Here, what is there? REST controller message. Public response entity. What is there? Response entity string. Whatever it is. Show message. It is mapped with what mode, guys? At the rate get mapping, right? It is mapped with what, guys? At the rate get mapping. I want reply. It is mapped with what, guys? At the rate get mapping. It is simply mapped with what, guys? At the rate get mapping. I want reply, my dear. See, guys, if we give options mode request to API REST controller having the URL, then we get response like, this method allows get mode request, head mode request, and options mode request. Get mode request, head mode request, and options mode request. You want to feel that? Wait a minute. Open the your Eclipse IDE, boss. Open your Eclipse IDE of yesterday. Yeah, here is what? 617 boot. Okay, why head? A very popular interview question. Why head comma, trace comma, options mode request cannot be used while performing code operations in REST API? Head request mode response does not contain body. So that means that is useful just for testing whether web component is available or not. Pinging to check whether web component is available or not. So that's why it is useless for code operation. Tracy is to get the list of components that are involved. Okay, to send the request, to process the request, to generate the response. It is not for any serious activities. This is only tracing the components that are involved related to execution. That's why not useful in code operation. Options very funny, guys. It won't do anything. It will just determine and tell. Okay, it will just determine and tell. Come on. You can give request to this web component or handler method using these request modes. using these request modes. Okay, this it is just helping you. What are the request mode that we can use for this, guys? Okay, let's go for REST story. Where is REST? REST, boot REST. REST browser one. Let me run this application. You can run in external server or implicit one. Run on server, guys. Tomcat 10. Say next. Say finish. Trace and options also does not have response body. Okay, result comes as response headers. Result comes as response headers. That's another headache we have. Okay. Go to this browser, guys. Select this, my dear. Come on. Come on, guys. Select this, my dear. Here is my postman. Here is my postman. Yes, guys. Yeah, wish request is already there. Wish request is already there. I'm pasting the URL. It is not saved. Huh? Yeah. What is this? Message API wish. Message API wish, guys. Say paste. Click on send, guys. Yeah. Good evening is coming or not? Good evening is coming or not? Here is my preview. Good evening. Pretty. Good evening. Okay. Look at the head. Look at the headers. A response address will have. Response will have a response address, guys. Content length 2, date is this, keep alive, connection, all this stuff. But I will try to send what mode request, guys? Options mode request. Click on this. Okay. Look at the body. Body is empty. That means no response body. Look at the headers. Here, hello, one is there, hello. It is giving list of possible request mode that are allowed. Get the head options. Get the head options. Are you noticing it? Are we getting body, guys? Is there any body, guys? Okay. Okay, look at this. Options. Is there head is also there? Send request. Send request. No special. See, no response body. Check it out. No response body. Only headers are there. No response body. Only headers are there. Options. Response. No response body headers. But in header, allow is extra. In header, allow is extra, boss. Come on. And it is not even giving trace, boss. Postman somehow not giving trace because trace has to give a lot of debugging details. And Postman is not ready to give those details, guys. Okay. Not ready to give those details, guys. At least you got the idea? Okay. From where header values are coming without passing any values. Nitesh, I think you are very weak in Servlet, guys. Request address are set automatically by browser or consumer. Response address are automatically set by the server. Are you getting my point? Bhima Chaudhary, lager trace is different, header trace is different. Lager trace is different. Lager trace is log message category only. Here what? Request mode, request method trace. It is request header trace or request mode trace, guys. Yeah. Now listen, guys. Head trace option mode does not have body, so useless in RESTful application. That's perfect, guys. Head trace and options mode. Options mode or method. Request related responses. Do not contain body or payload. So they are so useless while performing code operations in RESTful web services. Code operations in RESTful web services. Yeah, they're very much useless or not, guys? At least you convinced, guys. Okay, this will come as what, guys? As a response header. Response header. Response header, guys. How much keenly you studied servlet classes, JSP classes, that much enjoyment you will get in Spring MVC and other things. Not. Request headers carry additional data. Request headers carry, come on guys. Request headers carry additional data given by browser or consumer application with the request, along with the request. Note 2. Response headers carry. But guys, response headers carry. Come on, guys. Additional data. What data, guys? Additional data given by server or web container along with the response. Guys. Super, guys. Tell me request headers, boss. Content type. Content length. Okay, request headers mostly content type will be there. Content length will be there. Okay, what is this? Referrer will be there holding the URL. User-agent, browser software name, guys. Accept MIME type, guys. Accept -language. Okay, this will represent language supported by the browser. Active language supported by the browser, guys. Active language supported by the browser. Tell me, guys, response headers carry additional data. What do you mean by response headers, guys? What do you mean by response headers here? Refresh is one response header. Here also content type is there. Here also content length is there. Content type, request content type, response content length, request content length. Here, response content type, response content length. Okay. Refresh content type, content length. Content type, content length. Come on. Content type, content length. Come on. connection, tell me, content-disposition, date, server, what is the server name and etc. Okay, these are the response headers. Now look at the options once again. Okay, public class tests are related here, test URL. Public void do post request comma response. If you give response mode request to this web component, guys, it says allow post comma options, guys. What is post comma options? We can make the methods of REST controller class nothing but API handling different modes of request with a specified request path with the support of following annotations. How to tell them these REST operation methods are ready to handle these modes of request. Get mapping, post mapping, put mapping, delete mapping, patch mapping. Get mapping, post mapping, put mapping, delete mapping, patch mapping. Clear, guys? Got the point, my dear? I want reply, boss. Come on, I want reply. Or nah. Okay, allow is there to just determine, guys. Get mode request related response body contains response. Get mode request related response contains response body representing the results. Head mode request related response does not contain response body. Response does not contain response body representing the results. Simply representing the results. Clear, guys? Come on. Get mode request related response contains response body representing the result. Head mode request related response does not contain response body representing the result. I hope you got it, guys. Come on. Perfect. If the request URL is not valid, then we get what? 404 error. If the request URL based web component is not ready to process the given mode of request, then we get what? 404 error. Method not allowed. Handler method is ready to process when get mode request comes. But for that handler method, I am giving what? Post mode request. For that handler method, I am getting what? Post mode request, right? Okay. Right. That is what 405 error, method not allowed. For the given request, if authentication fails, 401. For the given request, if authorization fails, 403 error. If the web component fails to instantiate for given request, then we will get 500 error. What we get, guys? 500 error. Okay. Nitin Ponnakanti. Head request contains body, but head request related response does not contain body. Nitin, I think you are not understanding my point. Get mode request related response contains response body representing the results. Head mode request related response does not contain response body representing the result. I'm not talking about request body. I'm talking about given request related response and its body. Given request related response and its body, guys. Convinced guys, got the point. If the return type of producer method is other than string generic in response entity object, then producer methods send JSON data along with the HTTP response body. If return type of producer method is string generic in response entity object, then producer method send text data along with the response body. Text data along with the response body. Comfortable, guys? Comfortable, guys? Got the clarity, my dear? I want reply. Comfortable, guys? Got the clarity, guys? I want reply. And if you want to get the XML, tell me Vijay P. Yes, Mr. Yesterday's class, sir. For by default, XML will not come. If you want to get XML, you need to place extra libraries, extra inputs along with the request. Super, guys.